you go.
How are we all?
Over here.
You know, but if people click on the video, they're going to be looking at us sitting around.
Being a bunch of dickheads.
Yeah.
Same as always.
That's real.
Same as always. Here's some trouble.
All the regulars.
The usuals. That's it.
No, it's quite interesting for all those people who just click on the video later. They'll just come and watch.
And they're like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, but if I just sit around for 5 minutes and not say anything.
Just stare, like sit still. So
It
it
is
looks
like-
like
Maybe a photo. It's like a photo. We just play a mime. Is it mime? Not mime. Statue.
Yeah.
What's that word where you're a statue but you just stand there and then you move and scare the shit out of people?
Yeah, it's a statue.
What's it called? But is there a job? What's a
Human statue? I don't know.
tranquil thing? Ventriloquist?
No. That's when you talk without moving your mouth.
Ah. Yeah. Right. Who's coming to the show? Anyone coming to the show? Metal
show?
Church. We've got a show with Metal Church on August 31. And that will be a good time. I hope everyone's getting excited for that. We've got tickets for sale. We'll be discussing that later. But just waiting for Ando. Today we're going to be discussing social media and the excitement around all those things. How it can be used in a bad way sometimes, you know. There's a lot of bullying and other things that happen in social media. People feel powerful behind their keyboards and whatnot. But we can also get a lot of other positives out of social media, I believe, and rally people together and all that sort of stuff. It's good to see some more people joining, you know, Sunday. It's good weather here in Brisbane. Just grab your coffee or your juice, whatever you're into for this morning. Take a seat. Probably be about maybe half an hour, 40 minutes, something around that today. And it's going to have a chat. And we'll get you guys to chime in whenever you feel. You know, feel free to join the discussion, ask some questions. You know, we're here to have a conversation with you just as much as you might be here to watch us have a conversation with each other. That's not really what we're about. We want to be, you know, having a yarn with you blokes too, and the ladies that are rolling in. So, you know, hope everyone's having a good morning so far. There was a festival on last night, I think, out in Moshia. And maybe people went to that. Some people just hanging out on a Sunday. And if you've got any big plans for the afternoon, let us know in the comments. It's good to know what you're up to. And yeah. So he's coming back.
Morning, team.
Got 14 eyeballs, mate.
Oh, fuck.
Better
That's a
make
lot.
it count, eh?
G'day, kiddies. Good times, good times. Well, what do you reckon, mate?
Time to get cracking.
Getting into it? Yeah. Yeah, all right, let's do it.
All right.
Anybody else who's joined? Welcome, everyone, to Wartooth live stream. I forget what number we're up to. I think it's 4 or 5.
Maybe 4, yeah.
Not important. What's important is that you're here and we're going to have a good chat.
That's right.
All right. So, social media. Yep.
Social media, like I was saying before, so obviously, you know, we've got a song, Wired to Die. It was written on the, you know, the topic of social media. We've had a few things to say about it in previous live streams, but for all of those who don't know, Wired to Die is all about.
Yeah, so Wired to Die is more or less about this worldwide connectivity through various forms of social media, and basically just the World Wide Web in general, and how it's a very powerful tool for connecting people across the globe, but it also can be used for negative things. I think Wally was just talking briefly before about, you know, obviously there's a lot of issues with the web and its connectivity through things like cyberbullying and access to criminals, and you know, there's a lot of negative things it can be used for, but there's also a lot of positive things it can be used for. And social media specifically, I think, while it's great for connecting with friends and people like that, it's also a very powerful tool for not just advertising and corporations and things like that, but also for people to use to get in contact with, or to stay connected with various topics and things that they're into. I think the power of the connectivity of social media is quite substantial. I think a lot of people these days use Facebook and things like that for memes, and there's a lot of humor and that sort of thing in it. Certainly recently we've seen a lot of things, people getting around this whole like Storm Area 51 movement. There was the Face app where everyone make themselves look old. Those sorts of things. It's a great way to unite people. Cool. It's a great way to unite. Sorry, I just saw a comment. Yeah, it's a great way to unite people around a common cause, even if that cause is just silly sort of entertainment or whatever. But I don't know if you want to go into that in a bit more detail about the recent trends.
I don't know, probably most people seen it in the last couple of weeks. Firstly, we had some guy in America created an event area, Storm Area 51, in September, and he had millions of, a million people or so sign up to say they're going, and another million were interested in the event.
Yeah.
And in the event description, it had that it was just a joke, and he just wanted to get some thumbsies upsies, and he certainly got a lot of those.
Important, yeah.
He's probably pretty happy with himself about that.
For sure.
The US government and the military department, they had to take action, to tell people, like, if you actually do this thing, we have the legal right to shoot you dead.
Please don't do this actual thing.
And a few years ago, it actually happened to someone. They drove into the base about 13 Ks or something like that, and they shot the bloke, killed him. Other people get stopped at the doors and stuff, given fines. So, unfortunately, the military had to take action, or had to advise action that they can take action this time around. Say, if you do this, you can be in serious trouble, which obviously, will work for some people. But I know maybe we'll just have to wait till September and see if there's any people dumb enough to try and have a go. They're all going to do their Naruto run, dodge the bullets.
That's it. And
hopefully maybe get in there and find something. But anyway,
it is just a joke, obviously. And
it's
meant to be a joke. I think the premise of it was Storm Area 51, they can't stop us all, which is a very important message, I think, and it just shows the viralness, if that's a word, of that event. Just shows like how powerful social media can be around uniting people. Again, that was a joke, but the concept there of they can't stop us all is quite powerful. I mean, you could use that for things like political movements or religious movements or anything really, community events. Like the whole premise there was that many people gathered around this thing, which was a joke. But if you use that for some sort of positive movement, the same premise applies.
Right.
And certainly, like politically, if you think, they can't stop us all, it's like, well, if enough people gather around something on social media for positive action on whatever it might be that you're interested in, whether it be something like climate change or equal rights or whatever it might be, it's like, if that many people can gather around a joke, if you could get all those people to gather around an important positive cause, that's the power of social media used for good, I guess.
Exactly. One thing, shortly after the Storm Area 51 thing, all of a sudden everyone's got face out, taking photos of themselves. They want to see themselves looking like an 80-year-old, which is obviously, just entertaining and funny.
Yeah, a bit of fun.
App's been around for 2 years, it was released in 2017. All of a sudden it just...
I did not know that.
Oh, really?
Oh,
okay. Yeah, it wasn't like, just a new app came out. There's been out since 2017, and there's other apps just like it. But, that just caught on.
Trendy, I guess, for the week, yeah.
Yeah, for a week. Like, I haven't seen any this week. But
well, that's the thing with social media, isn't it? It's like everything lasts like a week. Every trend is there for 7-8 days, and then something else comes along and takes everyone's attention away.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so it's just one of those things. Like, okay, Face app comes along, people want to jump on board with that, and that's good. Like everyone's feeling confident enough to take that photo. Take the piss out of themselves. Some people, they might have confidence issues or whatever, where they're not happy to post pictures of them on Facebook. Obviously, some people want to play with filters and stuff like that, and maybe that gives them an outlet of, maybe it's a confidence building exercise for them to engage in, to be able to use these comical filters and processing their normal features of their face, and they can actually put it themselves out there and feel more confident, like, hey world, look at me.
Hey, I'm here, don't forget about me, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good way to help people connect, I think, and to sort of fit in the greater social structures.
I mean, that's, no one wants to be an outcast. Like, that's not our objective. We're social creatures. We want to be involved in pack situations. So when people who are not used to being in a social situation or they find it uncomfortable, if they have the ability to join on a trend and be like, oh, yay, I'm part of it too, not in a childish way or anything, but it's like, that's good for them. You know, like internally they would get a positive uplift for being people then liking that photo, and, you know, because they're able to take the piss out of themselves, which is something they might really struggle with if it's just a picture of themselves.
Well, I think that's especially in metal. Like, metal is, generally speaking, is full of people that are sort of social outcasts or some sort of description of that sort of thing. And it's, social media is certainly a good way that I found to connect with a bunch of people who are into heavy metal, and like not just through the band but personally. Like, it's a great community building aspect. I've met a lot of people through social media. I've connected with people that I wouldn't otherwise connect with in real life. Like, you might see somebody at a show, you might know who they are, but you'd never have a conversation with them one-on-one. But by seeing some of the stuff they post on social media, it gives you some sort of common ground to maybe start a conversation, or to start a conversation digitally before in person.
Oh, exactly.
And that's another sort of good positive aspect of social media, I guess.
Yeah,
to help break that social barrier that other people might put up sometimes, or that you might put up yourself sometimes.
Well, you're not just, you know, most of us here aren't just walking around venues, whether at a show or whatever, just like saying hi to everyone and being social in that regard. But social media, you know, gives us the ability to end up in situations where we might have one or two bonds with people. Okay, you go to a metal show, obviously everyone's there to see bands, but you know that doesn't give you grounds. Like, it doesn't take it away, but you don't have then the confidence to go around and talk to everyone. But if you're
just because you might be there to see the same band doesn't necessarily give you enough in common with somebody to.
If you're wearing a battle jacket and you see, you know, you got Metallica patch or whatever, and you see someone else, you're like, hey man, that's a cool patch. Where'd you get that from? Or all of a sudden you've got that other common bonding element that you can have a conversation about. Social media, all of your things and all of their things are clearly defined, you know, on your page. You might be part of the same group which follows, you know, metal bands, or, you know,
or something totally different, like
cooking.
You could be into cooking, or like you go to the gym and you see somebody else who's into metal that also goes to the gym.
Exactly.
You don't know they go to the gym. You're not going to talk to them about that at the show.
Yeah.
But if you see it on social media, it's like, oh, hey, we've got something else in common.
Exactly.
Now I can talk to them about that.
Like, hey, you're that dude in the other band that I play with all the time, but I never talk to, and you're part of the same gym page, you know, and you can have that conversation, build that relationship, and that's provided, you know, people are happy to put their information about themselves. You know, I'm happy to say, oh, I go to the gym and I do this and I do that on my Facebook page, but I'm not walking around with that sign above my head, you know, in life.
Yeah, it might not be necessarily obvious.
Talk to me about this or this, you know, these are all the things I'm interested in.
That's a good icebreaker, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, yeah. So some of those walls are already taken down, which is really good, but unfortunately, you know, some people use that the wrong way, people putting things out there about themselves, which other people are then jumping on top of in a negative way. And
I mean, it's certainly
cyberbullying and all
certainly
that.
Enables a bit of vulnerability as well for people to attack if they're that way inclined.
Exactly.
Obviously, that's not sort of the purpose of it, and it's not a good use of social media, but it is out there, I guess.
Yeah.
And that is one of the downsides of putting yourself out there, I suppose, is you make yourself vulnerable for those sorts of things.
Especially, you know, sitting behind a computer, if you've got a trend or something and people, you know, you're commenting on, or you're being opinionated, not in a negative way, but you're just putting your opinion out there, that's when other people, obviously, you know, if you walk through anywhere in life and you're stating your opinion, you might have people who agree or disagree, which is perfectly fine.
Yep.
And so if you're commenting on things or putting your opinion onto certain pages about something and you have people who are disagreeing with you, some of those people might feel comfortable to disagree irrespectively, you know, or to disagree in a non-respectful manner. And so therefore, that's how, you know, the bullying can start, because people are like, oh, fuck off, you're an idiot, you know. Where if you just walked into somewhere and said your opinion, you know, people might not say it in that way.
I don't think people necessarily would jump out to attack you in person as much.
If there's no repercussions for them to have that opinion, or for someone to defend that opinion or to fight back against your opinion, then they can confidently jump in with a negative attack as opposed to respectfully disagree. And so is that good or is that bad? That obviously creates a bad channel. Everyone's here to have their opinion, and we're happy to listen. But on social media, people feel the ability to not have to still respect others, because maybe it's because they're not talking to a physical person. It's not like, hey,
that human
you're an
element
idiot.
is taken away.
Yeah, like they can just be like, what a dumbass, on the other side of the world. And
people are feel a lot more confident in shouting their opinions, I guess, when they don't have to do it in somebody's face.
Both ways.
Yeah, both good and bad. Yeah.
But if you're stating your opinion on social media, maybe you wouldn't be so confident about that opinion in real life. If someone's standing there saying something, you wouldn't stand there and go, yes, I completely agree. The same way someone else wouldn't come in and say, I completely disagree. That conversation may not even be had because you're scared of being yourself in person. So social media allows you to express yourself with less of a face. You're not being marked as, oh, look at that guy. We all remember him. He had that opinion about something. People might just be popping up here, popping up there, having to say what they want to say. But because you have that confidence to express that opinion, obviously when you're on there, you need to be aware that some people have the confidence to, come in and completely destroy you. Yeah. So you shouldn't be getting negatively affected. Like, don't take it personally, because, you can't invest in yourself that much as a social media thing.
For sure. I think just what you said before about people have the confidence to be themselves more online. I think it also goes the other way too. I think people can create like a sort of a fake view of themselves, create a character or a caricature of themselves, or maybe just like pretend they have a completely different life to the one they have as well. So social media allows for that as well. You can be totally not yourself, the exact opposite, really. Certainly like things like photo filters and even just like what you put up there versus what you do or deal with on a daily basis. Like you can put up things that don't happen to you, or you can put up the one really bad or really good thing that happens to you amongst a bunch of other stuff. Like, I think just the way that people curate their social media pages could be the opposite of being themselves. It could be they could be trying to be something they're not, or trying to be better than they are, or worse than they are, or whatever they might be doing. Certainly for attention. Like, I'm not saying necessarily everyone does this, but you think about a lot of like the Instagram influencers and things like that. You think, and you see all these people, like successful people on social media. It's like, well, how successful or how like happy are they on a daily basis? Like you're only seeing some photos and a status once in a while. Like, you don't know what they're going through and what they're dealing with, or what they had to do to get that success or whatever. It's it certainly allows for people to fake things a lot more, as much as it allows you to be yourself. But I think, sort of tying back to the what we're talking about, like that's a bit of a rundown of what social media is good and bad for. But I guess Wired to Die in itself and the song is more about the fact that this tool is there. It's extremely powerful, and it helps us connect to a lot of people and a lot of interests and a lot of companies and a lot of it just helps to connect. But at the same time, I don't think people are necessarily using the tool in the best way. It's like it's a powerful tool. It's out there, but I think we don't really understand how to use it as individuals, and like not to its full potential anyway. As I said, like a lot of people just follow their friends and do things like that. But like Facebook's got its own set of algorithms, or like all social media does. They show you things that they deem that you want to see.
But you say that, but that's only come about, through evolution of the platform.
Sure.
It started out as like, post a thing, and then you can put it by most recent, and it will literally show you everything that you've signed up to see, that you liked and you've friended.
Well, I think Facebook initially was designed to connect a bunch of uni students on campus.
That's it.
Like, so it's basically just friends to connect with each other and chat with each other, which is cool.
To be genuine.
That's good, but like at the same time, like now it's become like a huge marketing tool for personalized advertising, to the point where like you can be talking with your friend in person about something, and then your microphone might pick up on that, and then next minute you've got ads on Facebook for this product about a thing you were talking about privately. It's like, how do they know? It's like, that's how connected the world is nowadays. It's like scary, and it's definitely a huge privacy invasion, I think. But I'm not going to get into the ethics of all of that. But I guess the principle of Wired to Die was about how connected we are, but it's also disconnecting us individually, and also like sort of stripping us of that community aspect. As much as it's as engaging as it is, it's also very disconnecting and disengaging. Like you're talking about, like you can be yourself, you can have opinions, you can connect with people on opinions, but you can also disagree with people and create negative opinions and run people down and bully them, and companies can use the information to market things to you that you wouldn't otherwise have access to, and all of those sorts of things. So as well as it's an awesomely powerful positive tool, but like anything with great power, great responsibility, and if people are using it incorrectly because maybe they don't know how, or maybe some corrupt people are just using it negatively, like it's also a very bad connectivity, I guess. And Wired to Die is more about that sort of, I guess, the doom and gloom side of things. Like it's a powerful tool, but it's not being used correctly
at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not everyone's using it badly, but yeah.
And I with what he's saying, it's one of those things where we can use these tools, but we're only figuring it out as we go.
That's right.
So, Facebook algorithms came about because people were whinging. It's like, oh, I'm seeing all this crap I don't want to see, maybe, or like people create business pages or make pages, and then they can just post and advertise. But it's like, hang on, this guy, no one cares about what this guy's saying. So can you take that away from my feed? And so obviously they got enough complaints in that department. So Facebook were like, okay, well, when you post something as a business page, we're going to show a little bit of your people and see whether they like it. And if they don't, well, then we're not going to show anyone else, because obviously it's crap.
Well, that's part of the algorithm system. Yeah.
So I guess
it has, again, positive impacts.
Yeah.
Because it shows stuff to people that want to see it.
Exactly.
And as a consumer, you get to see things that you're supposedly interested in.
Yep.
The downside is you might miss out on things that Facebook deems that you're not interested in.
Yeah.
Or the downside from the other side, like us as a band having our own page on Facebook, it's difficult to get our content to people because the way the algorithms work is that it doesn't show everybody our posts unless enough people deem it worthy by Facebook's algorithm standards, and then it will show it to more and more people.
Yep.
Or you can take the other route and just pay for things, give Facebook a bunch of money, and then it will shout your stuff to everyone. But like, I'm not going to get into all of that sort of thing, but that's certainly one of the ways the algorithms work. But I'd like to talk to you, Wally, about the way you've set up your Facebook, because you sort of hacked the system a little bit, and now you run Facebook a bit differently. Like you're not using it necessarily just for connecting with friends. Do you want to go into that a bit more?
Yeah, it's funny because to me, like, okay, probably over the last couple of years, I've sort of seen a few people, particularly maybe in the metal scene, that pop up and using Facebook as like a bit of a diary, and they might be commenting about them or posting about their mental health problems, or this problem in life and that problem in life, and like, okay, well, I'm friends with you on Facebook, and that's cool. Like, Facebook isn't all about like I'll just have my immediate friends and that's it. I guess it's used for connection, so it's good to stay in touch with people. But at the end of the day, like my Facebook feed just filling up with all this negativity, and it's like that's not good for me, to just be subject to all this. So basically, what I did is I went and found all these pages, which were heavily related to the things I'm working on, like success and being an effective human, like being positive human and mindset and all these sorts of things. So take all these pages, set them to see first, and then when I'm on Facebook, I don't want to spend a lot of time on Facebook. I've got better things to be doing with my day. So if I'm scrolling the feed for whatever reason, it's just all positive reinforcement. It's all, mental health exercises, things to keep your brain focusing on the right things, give yourself some motivation for the next hour or the next task, or to go to work or to get up early, whatever it may be. Set up the Facebook newsfeed to be all about something that I'm going to get off Facebook and be fired up to go and do my next task, because it's better than just reading like, oh, this person's suffering and this person went out last night and got drunk and now they feel like shit and blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, well,
not belittling these people.
No,
it's just more like,
that's cool.
How do you spin that? How do you use the tool to be more positive?
Yeah,
positively influential in your life.
If I'm using this tool, and it's like, okay, well, you can just say, don't have these people or don't be on Facebook or whatever. But it's just like, okay, this tool is around and it's important. I'm in a band. I've got to be on Facebook to promote my band and, utilize the tool to talk to you guys and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
So,
like we're doing right now.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, I found a way to make it a very positive tool in my life, because at the end of the day, I don't want to get rid of the tool. I just want to use the tool in a good way.
Yeah.
Like you can.
So you follow like what sort of things do you follow?
Well, there's pages out there called like Addicted to Success and like anything motivation. A couple of people like Ed Milet, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
So
people that you sort of inspire you or you look up to,
or
just people just generally sprouting positive sort of messages.
Well, yeah, like in America, there's a lot of people who are just like all about mental health resolution. Like everyone has daily challenges or hourly challenges, and you get down about yourself when sometimes you can only see the negative parts of your life, but there's always a 360 or 180 degree view. Like there's always a way to turn that around. Like anything that happens, you can either go, okay, this is bad, that's happened, or you can go, well, that's good, I learned my lesson, or something good can come from that situation. And your mind is always going to be like, oh, that's bad, because we're programmed to survive in life. We're not programmed to succeed and do good things. We're just programmed to stay alive. So if something is scary or confrontational or an objective we have to overcome, our body and our brain is going to go, no, that's bad, go away from that thing. So it's going to create a resistance to overcome that barrier. But if we can be like, I have the power, I can overcome these things, self-talk, etc., you're going to give yourself fuel and momentum to go through life in a much happier mindset.
And part of that, I guess, is your feed is
exactly
set up to be that positive reinforcement.
Yeah,
so that when you tune into your Facebook stuff, you're seeing all that positivity,
all the good stuff,
which helps you grow and be more positive and more motivated and whatever. So that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, so when you're on there, scrolling through it's actually affecting your mindset, because it would either way, but it used in a positive manner.
Yeah, I guess you could use that for anything. Like if you're really interested in something, like say,
just to learn.
If you want to learn information about something, or you say you're really big into like climate activism, or you really like guitars, or
playing guitars, or
I don't know, whatever you're into. If you find a bunch of pages or people on social media that are really pumping those messages of things that you want to see and hear, and you follow those pages and you click the little thing that says like see first, every time you jump on your Facebook page, every time you jump on your feed, you'll see that stuff first, and that turns like I've sort of started doing this myself after Wally spoke about doing all this stuff, and I've noticed a massive difference in, like, instead of jumping on Facebook and the first thing you see is like what one of your mates has been up to today, and then you scroll a bit more and there's some meme, and then you scroll a bit more and there's somebody else talking about their life, and you sort of get sucked into this vortex, and you can be on there for 2 hours just scrolling mindlessly through what everyone's up to today. Instead of doing that, if you're setting these interests and these pages to see first, the first thing you jump on Facebook and you see, like Wally's talking about, is positive mental health stuff, and like I've got some things on there about playing guitar or whatever it might be. You jump on there, you see that stuff first, you're like, that's what I want to be doing right there. And then I find I spend less time on Facebook because of that, because as soon as you jump on there, you see the thing that you're interested in. You might click on a link and watch a video, or you might read an article or whatever it might be that's from the page that you like, but instantly you're like sucked into that interest of yours instead of just catching up on the gossip or what everyone's lives are up to. And I find that's a much more positive way to live my life. I certainly feel a lot more productive because of it. I'm not wasting hours and hours just scrolling the feed mindlessly. Which I think is a big problem for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people like that, so whatever. But
I don't know. Like, people, your life shouldn't be built into this thing. It's not like this is what I do with my time. But unfortunately, sometimes that is the case. We look back and it's like, oh my God, I was just on Facebook and I was been here for 45 minutes and like, I burnt my dinner or, whatever. Like, what happened to that time? Because you don't even realize.
I was going to do that other thing today, and I just ended up spending all Sunday just scrolling on my newsfeed and not doing anything.
I mean, you're maybe not entertained, but you just don't have the motivation to get up and do something else. So like, if this thing is showing you all of the things you like, oh, it's got a cool guitar and there's strings, or there's recording equipment, or there's cooking or whatever. Like, oh, I like cooking. Maybe I could go make that cake, and
it inspires you to go and do stuff.
And
then you can be more productive with your time, I think.
Exactly.
Enjoy your time a bit more rather than getting sucked into the vortex. Yeah,
And
which I think is what happens to a lot of people.
It's almost like a negative spiral. Yeah, like you get sucked into it, and then it's just going to keep you there because there's nothing taking you away.
Turn it into a positive spiral.
Yeah, to like, okay, that's cool that we're going to use this tool.
Yeah.
But it's going to spin me around and throw me out to go do something good, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing on here. I'm not interested in going anywhere. You know, there's
That's
nothing
right.
calling me. I've got nothing to do today. I'm just going to sit here. But it's like, oh, my interest, the things I like.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should go do something. You know?
I'd like to sort of throw the microphone, I guess, out to the audience here a bit and sort of see, like, what do you guys follow? Like, is there a specific page or a person or an account or whatever on social media, any social medias that you guys follow that really, like, you're interested in, or it inspires you when you see it pop up? And, like, I'm just sort of interested to see, like, how you guys use social media in a positive way, like, not necessarily just what you do on a daily basis on there, but, yeah, like, do you guys follow specific pages, accounts, or whatever that inspire you or that really interest you? And, like, what sort of content do they put up? Yeah, I'm keen to see what you guys...
And I'm wondering, too, does anyone else use the see first function, or is it just me? Because when I found it, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I followed a page, even a band, like I follow a band, and I only see one in every 5 posts because, you know, they're just too far down my feed.
Well, that's the way the algorithms work as well. You know, you
like,
don't get to see everything.
I like this band because I wanted to see all the things they're posting, and it's not popping up. It's like, so I've got to go and click see first, and then all of a sudden, I'm seeing it all. I'm like, okay, now I'm up to date with the band, you know.
Yeah.
The only news you might get is when someone left because there was, you know, 1,000 shares or whatever, you know,
Sure.
everyone talking about it. So then it pops up. But
yeah, well, like just saying that, actually, I missed the fact that
Chris Adler
left Lamb of God until
yeah.
like 2 days ago. He left like a month ago. He left the band due to personal injuries and things like that. But I didn't even hear about that until like 2 days ago, because like I follow Lamb of God on Facebook. I follow a lot of metal magazines and all that sort of thing. And none of it managed to get onto my initial feed. And yeah, I only found out a couple of days ago, and I was like, this is a shocking news to me. But if I guess if I'd set one of those pages to like see first, or like showing a high interest in that band or whatever, then like through the algorithms, I would have seen that post a bit sooner. But certainly that was big news that I missed out on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things, I guess. That's just a prime example of yeah, like if anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, the see first thing is like where you've got the like button on a page. There's like a little drop down menu. You click on that, and there's a few little options there. One of them is show this at the top of my newsfeed, and basically every time, if you can do that to as many pages as you like.
No, there's only you can only have maybe 25 or 30 pages. Set
you found the limit, have you?
Yeah, I found the limit. Of like, I got to go find who's the worst person. I found the better
least
one.
important. Drop them out.
Sub them out.
Priorities there, but yeah. So those pages basically will always, their posts will come up at the top of your newsfeed every time you log in.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, you see all of their stuff every time that it gets posted. I guess that's so you set that for some really important things or things that you're really interested in. Yeah.
I think it's important that, you know, everyone's on here, you know, obviously everyone watching is on Facebook. So make sure that it's not having a negative impact on your life. Make sure it's not bringing you down. It's not putting you in a space that takes you away from living, you know.
As we said, it's a very powerful tool for connecting people, not just people to people, but people to interests, people to information. And obviously people to products and things like that as well. But the people to information and the people to interests is like the really powerful thing that I'm really digging about social media. Is, as I said, I can get any information about any topic that I'm interested in at the drop of a hat if I follow the right pages and I make sure that they come up at the top of my newsfeed. Every time I log in, I'll find some new information about something that I'm interested in, rather than, as I said, just seeing what somebody's up to on the weekend or the photo from the party or something that I don't really care too much about. It's a very powerful tool for connecting people, but if you know how to use it, you can use it for really good stuff.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess we'll probably sort of start to wrap this up, I guess. But a little bit of homework for you guys, if you want to. I'd like to sort of extend the challenge to you guys to go and find maybe 3 or 4 pages of interest to you. Doesn't have to be Wartooth, but certainly something that you're interested in or something that inspires you. Find a few pages on Facebook, set them to see first. Do that today, and then over the next week or so, just see if it makes a difference to the way you use social media. And let us know how it goes. I'd love to hear about how you guys found that experience. As I said, it certainly changed Wally's life to the point where he told me about it. and I've been using it, and it's made a massive difference to the way I use Facebook and things like that too. So yeah, that's a little challenge for you guys if you choose to accept it. We'd love to hear how that goes for you.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know. Send us a message, and we'll have a conversation about it. It's like what sort of pages you're following, and if it's inspired you to go and take action somewhere, and because some people struggle with social media. Like they get on there and they'll get sucked into it, and it's like, oh no, that's no good. Like I was saying before, you're past the time, but get on there, see the good things, and then use it to go and get more done with your day. Don't be afraid, or don't feel bad because you're putting the phone down. It's like, hell yeah, I'm G'd up to go and do something, to go and do the things that I really want to do, that I think maybe I should be doing, but I'm just chilling out on Facebook here.
That's it, just mindlessly scrolling.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, we'll let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in about a month's time.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Keep an eye out for more information about the album and all that stuff as it progresses. But yeah. Anyway, have a good Sunday.
We'll talk to you later.
See ya.